Okay, let's talk about Monster Hunter Worlds. Now, this is something. World? Yeah, I think it's just World. Either way, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, ever since World released, actually. But I never got around to doing any of this. But seeing as Generations Ultimate is around the corner, there are some things we need to discuss. Okay? Now, Monster Hunter World is not a bad game. Okay, that's not what I'm here to talk about. It's not bad. But it does have a fundamental problem with the essence of a Monster Hunter game. Okay, so full disclosure, it's not like I've played every Monster Hunter game known to man. Okay, I haven't. But I played quite a handful, and I've beaten them, and I've sunk in hours. I've played my fair share of Monster Hunter to come to understand what it's about, and I definitely see why it's such a niche game. It was really hard for me to get into it because back when it was, growing, when I was in high school, everyone played it in high school on their PSP, but I didn't have one, so I just a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, actually let me borrow his PSP so I could just play through the game, and that's kind of where I started. So I didn't start from the beginning, but I've played every Monster Hunter game since. And once Worlds was announced, World, whatever, I was excited. I was excited just because I was finally going to be able to play a Monster Hunter game that I could show my friends and be like, hey, look, it's a Monster Hunter game that you can play. Because since the trailers and since the beginning, it looked like one that was, yes, going to follow the standard traditions of a Monster Hunter game, but it was going to be more accessible. It was going to be way more accessible for those who have always had a problem with Monster Hunter games. And that's inherently not a bad thing. It's not. It's great. But at the same time, because I kind of had a feeling of what was going to happen with the game and what they were going to try and give the people, I was frightened because I really, really liked my time with Monster Hunter 4 specifically for the 3DS. Like, I have fond memories about that, sitting down and playing with my cousin and my fiance at the time and just having a blast. And I was excited to be able to play that on a big screen, on a console with even more friends. But I was scared that it wasn't going to be the same. And lo and behold, when the game came out, my brother was very excited for it. He was never a big fan of Monster Hunter because, yes, the mechanics to get into it, to sit down and really understand it, you got to get your hands dirty. And that's definitely part of the essence of Monster Hunter. It's always been, I really like to say, unnecessarily complex because it's not necessary. It's proven with World, but it is something that was important or valuable to the core of the Monster Hunter experience. So World came out, and I got it on release because my bro and my cousin were going to get it. And I'm like, yeah, finally, I'll be able to play it. Us three will be able to sit down and just rip through the game. And that's exactly what happened. In the literal sense of just ripping through it. Like, okay, there's the main problem I have with World, right? I don't mind that it dumbed down mechanics in order to, because it didn't dumb them down. That came off wrong. It simplified a lot of things, and those things, sure, may have been annoying in the original games or in all of the games, but let's face it, it was something that was in all of the games. So it wasn't an annoyance. It wasn't something that was made like that because, well, I mean, the limits of the technology. I'm sure in the beginning it was, but then they kept it, and then they kept it, and then they kept it. So it was inherent to the Monster Hunter experience. And World didn't have those things. And to a lot of people, I don't want things that hinder the experience of my Monster Hunter game. Like, I don't want things that inherit the value of it, and I could definitely agree with that. But if it's giving up its soul just for accessibility. It's good because the best way I could put it, I'm rambling here, but the best way I could put it is Monster Hunter World is a great Monster Hunter tutorial. Okay? That's what it is. That's how I always saw it since the beginning. And that's how I feel it really is once I was done with it. Like, it's a tremendous tutorial. It's a great introduction for anyone getting in on it. The core problem that I may have with the situation of Monster Hunter World is that a lot of people I knew who love Monster Hunter were incredibly excited because they're like, yeah, I finally get to see these monsters in HD. I'll finally be able to play it as it was always meant to be. The way I always envisioned it when I went on those hunts and that uncomfortable tiny DS, well, I'll be able to see everything I felt. But to me, personally, that trade-off is a no-go. To a lot of people, it has been. I was incredibly excited. I don't mean to throw rocks at anyone here. I'm not, but I'm just giving an example. When back then, Pro Jared reviewed Monster Hunter World, it got my hopes up. It did. Because you know the guy, he is obsessed with Monster Hunter. He's played all of them. He was an avid fan of Monster Hunter. And to hear him say that that's his favorite Monster Hunter game, and it's the best one hands down, got me excited. Because if someone like that, someone who understood the mechanics and who understood that the tedium was part of the whole experience, to say, yeah, no, this is the pinnacle, it got me excited. But then I played it, and I didn't feel that way. And hell, that's exactly how opinions work, right? To each their own. But I found it odd that someone with his experience with the games to say that that's the pinnacle. When I played it with my group of friends, I liked it. It was fun. But honestly, it just didn't feel like a Monster Hunter game. It didn't. Okay, we fought the first monster, we beat it, second beat it, third beat it, fourth beat it, fifth beat it. They were already making armors, and I was like, why would I need new armors? Like, this monster hits me, and I could still live, so it doesn't really matter. And then, okay, I found an armor that I like. The Dogaran? No, I don't know, man. The Red Cheetah Man. We call him the Cheetah Man. Ignore that. But the red tiger thing. I don't know the name. But that one, because since I main duels, I mained them before they were cool. They were always cool before they were like really good. But yeah, the Cheetah Man armor was like the best. Odogaran, Odaban, something. Anyway. And then I got his armor, and then I didn't need anything else until we reached high rank, and then I got his same armor high rank, and then I didn't need anything else. The end. Like it's not necessary. And it's I'm sorry, it's incredibly interesting how a lot of people, because Monster Hunter, it's all about the grind. Yes, it is. That's what Monster Hunter games are. It's just about the grind, the loot and the grind. But I would see my brother, for example, he had like I'm lying, about 8 or 9 different just presets. Oh, I have this armor with this weapon, and this armor with this weapon, and this armor with this weapon, and this armor with this weapon. And they're all for like different things, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that's cool. That's how it's done. You did it. And he's like, what do you got? I'm like, I have the Red Cheetah Man armor and the dual blades. And then for all the monsters, I use that. And then that's it. I didn't need to look. Maybe did other Monster Hunters feel that way? I don't remember that. When I played 3, I emphasize on 3 and 4 because those were the ones that I was able to sit down every week, sometimes twice, 3 times a week with the same people, physically there, just going through the game. It was us 3. And I don't remember Monster Hunter being that. When we sat down, since one of the people who I played World with was he was my cousin. He was someone who I played 3 and 4 with. We were like, yeah, no, this is going to be good. oh, you don't know what you're messing with, to my brother, because he had never played one. We're like, no, 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 you don't know what to expect, man. These monsters are gonna just destroy you. And then we played, and it's like, okay, no, no, you killed this monster, but wait until the next one. This is how Monster Hunter gets you. That's how it is, okay? You're gonna get, you're gonna get what's yours. You're gonna get what's coming, and then no, and then no, and then no. And for all intents and purposes, Monster Hunter World, I'm sure, was made with the idea to just introduce the world over to Monster Hunter, destroy the fact that it was a niche game, and show the world that this game is something you need to pay attention to. And I'm sure it accomplished its goal to a degree. Because then we have, and the reason why it pushed me to talk about this now, then we have the release of the upcoming Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, or Ultimate Generations. One of the two. Generations Ultimate. Then that hits, and then the reviews hit, and I'm breathless, because I heard that the game has like 93 monsters. Yes, I'm counting the repeats and whatever, but that's 93 monsters, and that they added like about 20 monsters just for the Ultimate Edition that's coming out for Switch. So the base game for 3DS had 73 monsters. World has 26. 25, 26-ish. They have more. They've updated. They have the Devil Joe, Angry Pickle, whatever, and they added the gold thing, which is cool, definitely. But it's 26 monsters. Something that I liked when I played 3 and 4 was that weekly we were getting updates, and we just keep getting new monsters and new monsters. And even sometimes we would just get, missions with the same monster, but, just different variations of them. But that was fine enough, because it was weekly content, and that was great. And I'm not sitting here, please don't misinterpret, please. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I want World to do that, because it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. To develop monsters and throw them on a DS, 3DS, whatever, is very different than having to make it for the PS4, Xbone, PC, all of that. I get it. It's inherently different. I don't know. I just feel like Monster Hunter World didn't feel like a Monster Hunter game to me. It felt like perfect. It felt like if you were, like, when games throw like prologue chapters to games as full games, like what Metal Gear 5 did. Metal Gear Solid 5 through Ground Zeroes. And like Kingdom Hearts 2.8, whatever, did with the final chapter prologue thing. It's just a vertical slice. This is Monster Hunter in a way that a lot of you guys can just sit down, play, and enjoy. But we're preparing you for the big leagues. And then I've been seeing reviews about Generations Ultimate, and people are like, "Oh, it's not the same since World came out." And I've been pushed back, because yes, no, I don't find myself or declare myself an avid Monster Hunter fan, like to the point where oh my god, I need all the Monster Hunter memorabilia. No, I really like it, because I have very fond memories of those games when I sat down and played them in an enclosed place with an uncomfortable DS with the fingers. It's just joyful memories. And I just didn't get that with World. And I feel like just I wanted to put it out there, because I'm sure other people have said, hey, this is like a better looking Monster Hunter game, but without the soul. I don't know if it's been worded exactly that, but that's what it feels like to me. It's very pretty. It is. It looks very nice, and it was fun. I'm not saying it wasn't, and that's the point of a game. It should be fun, and I got my value from it. Like, I'm not saying that it's, oh, bad, don't play it. But I feel like the best way to describe it is it lacked soul. The soul of previous Monster Hunter games. And I'm excited for Generations Ultimate. I don't have a Switch, but I want to sit down and play it, because, Generations was just picking the favorite monsters throughout the whole series and throwing them there. And now there's 20 more, and it's just so much good, so much Monster Hunter. And I'm excited to play it whenever I get the chance to. But it hasn't bothered me, but it's irked me a bit that I've seen a couple reviews already saying, you don't have the scout flies, and the game doesn't look good, and the controls are clunky, and the hubs and the menus are tedious. No, they're. I mean, okay, I'm sorry. I agree with everything you're saying, but to me, they're not detriments because that's what Monster Hunter is. And I sound like I'm just defending something like, oh no, how dare you insult this? This is perfect. I'm not doing that. Yes, the controls are clunky. Yes, the graphics aren't as good as World. Yeah, you have to paintball monsters. Yes, you have to go through loading screens. That's what Monster Hunter's always been. Like, when I sit back down and I play Generations Ultimate, I'll probably, like, if I really agree with everything that the people are saying, then I'll come back and be like, hey, it turns out I'm horribly wrong and I should get shot. But I'm looking forward to that because that's the Monster Hunter that I remember fondly. That's the Monster Hunter that I think back when people talk about Monster Hunter. The loading screens, the unnecessarily complex items and just dealing with all of that. It's not like I'm gonna miss. It's not like I missed carpal tunnel hands because of holding it in a DS or whatever. Hell no. But we have a Switch. We have a controller now, so that kind of takes away that annoyance because it was. But oh no, I have to find the monsters and memorize. Oh no, he's gonna go to 3. He's gonna go to 5. He's gonna go to 10. He's sleeping at 9. Come on, like. In World, it's just he's running up my flies. I follow the little green, follow the green trail. That's it. And it looks nice and it's convenient, but it's not Monster Hunter. Yeah, I want to waste an item slot in order to take paintballs so I could throw a paintball at the monster. Or seeing as I play gunner sometimes, I want to waste a gun bullet slot area thing to have paint bullets and paint the monster. That's not bad. It's not detrimental to the Monster Hunter experience. If anything, it elevates what Monster Hunter was, and hopefully will continue to be. Seeing as what frightens me is that Capcom at some point is like, okay, we threw World, and that game is a success. It is, and I'm happy for Capcom and for the people who spent their time on that game, who just make it look so good, make the monsters feel so real. I'm not trying to take away from it. It's very important. I want to make that vividly clear, just palpable. I like World. It's just that it lacks the Monster Hunter soul. It lacks that. I don't know. It's all Carapace, no gem. Seriously, I regret saying no. I don't. Yeah, it was silly. It was incredibly silly. I'm sorry, but that's what it feels to me. That's what it feels to me. And as silly as that was, so silly, but it comes from the right place. That's what Monster Hunter was for me, and that's what it'll always be. Having to deal with the limitations that the game itself imposes upon you and persevering through it. Yeah. Sign me up. That's Monster Hunter. So, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that. I know it was a lot of rambling, and I wasn't specific in some points. Like, I was talking all over the place, but that's what Monster Hunter is to me. I'm not saying World is bad. Never said that. World is good. I'm glad it brought Monster Hunter to the big screen, and it brought a lot of people to Monster Hunter. I'm very happy about that. Kudos to you, Capcom, for doing something, for finally breaking that very difficult barrier, which is crossing the barriers between people and like, no, I don't want to play Monster Hunter. Those games that look bad and play bad and whatever bad. But I mean, no, they're just unique and a little tedious. But underneath that is one of the best gaming experiences out there. So I'm glad you brought that in the forefront. I just strongly hope that just because World is out now doesn't mean that, you know, other Monster Hunter games that are going to come out, case in point, Ultimate, Generations Ultimate, I really hope that it doesn't get shit on, because that's the Monster Hunter that I was waiting for. That's what I want to play. That's what I want to experience. Loading screens, paintballs. Yeah, I don't have a problem with any of that. I want to fight a monster and deal with how cheap it could be and have to craft like 50 different armors because the monsters are just kicking my shit. That's what I want to play. And I'm excited for Generations Ultimate. But yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens with other reviewers, other people who are going to talk about it. I never meant to like shit on anything anyone else has said. If you like World, if that's your favorite, even if you've played other Monster Hunter games, that's great. I don't want to say you're wrong and you shouldn't like it as much because it lacks soul. To me, my opinion, that's what it is. It lacks the soul. But to you, if it's your favorite, man, great. Super. What's your favorite new monster? Whatever, man. Great. I don't have a problem with that. I really like the fat guy with the iguana, the blue iguana that eats the rocks. I like him. He looks cool. But yeah. I'm excited for Generations Ultimate. I want to see just all the monsters it has, and I want to play through it. And I really hope, I'm sure it will, continue having the best monster in Monster Hunter ever. It's just, that's not even my opinion. It's just fact. Say it with me. Giginox. Giginox is the best monster, hands down. Favorite monster. Dual mains. That's what I do. I like the Giginox and the dual blades and heavy bowgun. But who cares? Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Kind of, what's the word? I just want to use the fact that Generations Ultimate is going to come out soon, and I've seen a handful of reviews, and just voice my opinions not only on World, but on what's to come with Monster Hunter. I really hope they sell well with Generations Ultimate. I really hope a lot of people buy it on the Switch and buy Switches just to play it and just play the heck out of it so that they can see what a true Monster Hunter game feels like. Warts and all, because that's what Monster Hunter was always about. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. What's your main? What's your favorite monster? It better be the Giganox, but I don't know, just whatever. Let me know in the comments or something. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe and follow me on Twitter @OneLungGuy. And I'll see you all in the next one.